Here we're going.
Brother figured it out.
Good morning, everyone. It's the Todd and Erin Morning stream on GephartDaily.com, and now I can't drink this water.
No, you really can't.
All right.
Honey, are you hungry? Okay.
All right.
This is pretty cool. We do have Jennifer Martin in studio today. Now, she is a pet psychic. She's pretty much nationally renowned. And this may surprise you that you can actually psychically read a pet. But you actually can. So these two little darlings, this is Loki and this is Thor. They're from Utah Humane Society.
That one drank my coffee, this one drank my water.
They're a bonded pair, and we're kind of hoping that we can get them out adopted together. So I'm going to see if she has any deep insights to what's going on with them. Also, Bill Gephardt's dog is here today, and I'm really hoping we can hear something.
All right, so speaking of animals,
yes,
there is a new animal, and it is up at the Hogle Zoo, and there it is.
Yeah.
He is very well trained. And we're going to talk about that, too.
Diego, he's apparently smarter than the two of us put together.
He's
but
gorgeous.
That's not a huge compliment.
And if you're having a day that maybe you need something good, we have a great story Bill went and did.
Tell me something good. Bill Gephardt went up to the Huntsman Cancer Institute, and what he found out about childhood cancer treatment is going to totally blow you away.
That is
It's going to give
awesome.
you huge hope. So that's coming up in just a couple of minutes. All right, first of all, we want to go to Teeny Tiny Daisy. She's being sponsored by the law firm of Robert J. DeBry & Associates. They have offices in Salt Lake City, Sandy City, and St. George. Also by Precision Garage Doors of Salt Lake City, providing repairs, a garage door installation, as well as openers. Sorry, Loki was sneezing. Precision Garage Doors, locally owned and nationally backed. Teeny Tiny Daisy, what's going on?
Good morning, Todd and Erin. Here's what's making headlines on Gephardt Daily. Sad news out of southern Utah, where search teams have found the wreckage of a small plane which crashed over the weekend, killing an LDS bishop and his 2 young children. Sandy resident Rendell Wells on a return flight from Phoenix when his small plane disappeared not far from Bryce Canyon. The aircraft was found late Monday. There were no survivors. And 2 bank robbery suspects are behind bars after leading police on a wild high-speed chase during Monday night's rush hour. Authorities say the men held up the U.S. Bank near 2200 South and 2100 East and then took off when spotted by police. The chase reached speeds of more than 100 miles an hour and came to an end in West Valley City, where the men ditched the car and tried to escape on foot. Both were captured a short while later. And traffic is moving smoothly this morning up and down the I-15 corridor. The only hazard spots are in Big and Little Cottonwood Canyon, where chains or 4x4 are required for all vehicles. And while the brunt of yesterday's storm has passed, more snow is expected Tuesday night. Wednesday skies will be clear and we'll see temps in the mid-50s by the weekend. Todd and Erin, back to you.
Back on the Todd and Erin Morning stream with Bill Gephardt himself. Good morning, how are you?
Good morning. Oh, I'm doing great.
And you kind of are, because you came back, and I saw you when you came back from the Huntsman Cancer Institute, and you were on fire. It's like you had been inspired.
Well, they are saying that word. They're saying the cure word, and you could never say the C word in cancer institutions, the various ones I've been to around the country.
I don't hear oncologists say that at all, yeah.
Now, and it was always remission. And now they're saying the cure word, and for children, 80% cured. And I went down to Huntsman, to find out what is the state of cancer right now, and there's 3 top experts, and take a look at what they had to say.
Just about 30 years ago, only 10% of children survived a diagnosis of childhood cancer, and now about 80% of children will be cured.
Dr. Nellie Ulrich is the Senior Director of Population Sciences Research at Huntsman Cancer Institute. She joins Executive Medical Director John Sweetenham and Dr. Martin McMahon of Preclinical Translation.
You know, overall, I think the news is good.
This top-level group seems excited to share their optimism with me.
Let me give you a very specific example of why we should be upbeat.
Dr. McMahon is talking about melanoma, skin cancer.
I'm done. I don't care. If I die, I die.
Larry Hegman of Utah had melanoma, had been through chemotherapy, even lost a thumb to a surgery. He was ready to die. Indeed, in the past 7 years, advanced melanoma was largely a death sentence. Then, As we previously reported, Larry participated in a clinical trial which used altered virus DNA. It was injected into Larry, and today he is cured.
I can believe how well they helped me.
And so a disease that was regarded as being a recalcitrant disease, that was a death sentence, has been changed into a disease for which we have numerous effective therapies that can really have an impact on people and patients' lives. And with the immunotherapies in particular, we are daring to say that in some cases we actually might be able to cure patients with advanced melanoma.
Their risk of a remission is minuscule.
Dr. Ulrich says the success in curing 80% of childhood cancer is the result of a law involving children only.
There had been a law that required that every childhood cancer patient was required to go into a research study. So we had the opportunity as the research community to accelerate progress very dramatically. What we're still trying to do is getting people engaged, a lot more adult patients, in being willing to contribute to research studies, because the studies that we do today will be the findings that will benefit future patients.
To be able to do within 5 years what otherwise would take us 10 to 15 years to do it.
That's part of the reason for former Vice President Joe Biden's visit to Huntsman in 2016, his $6.3 billion Cure Cancer moonshot, partly to get adult patients and cancer institutions to share information.
We're part of a network called Orion, which is a network of cancer centers all across the USA. But increasingly, we're realizing that the solution to this problem is by getting big groups of people together, amassing huge amounts of information on data on individual patients and cancers as a whole. And that's going to be a much quicker route to, better outcomes than each of us trying to do it individually.
So these top Huntsman cancer experts, they're excited
that if in the space of 7 years, melanoma can go from a disease that was a death sentence to being something that has numerous effective therapies approved, this could be done for other cancers. And I think there's a sense that we are living in this inflection point in cancer research, cancer therapy, cancer prevention, and so on, that suggests that we are really at a turning point in our battle against the disease, and that we have an opportunity here to really make an impact in a number of really major cancers that are such major factors in our society.
So, so that is the state of cancer in their expert opinions, but I'm stuck on 80% of children's cancer is being cured with the C word, not remission.
That's incredible. I've talked to so many cancer moms in years past, and they're always exhausted and always terrified, and you hold on to every 10th of a point of a percentage. I mean, you do. That's everything you grip onto, because you're hoping your kid will be one of those. So when you say 80% for a cancer mom, that's like you just gave them $16 trillion.
You've seen these things, haven't you? You've seen these, it would be children. I lost a 10-year-old friend. It's like losing your own, the torture they go through. Right. Anyway, I'm encouraged by the 80% number.
And I have to wonder, because you're a grandpa, this must have made you verklempt.
It did.
To see those amazing little people.
Well, I don't know what that word is. Go take a nap.
See, all
Go
right.
take a nap.
Thank you, Bill. All right, that's so exciting to me. It makes me, I'm trying not to cry, because Bill and I are both on the edge right there, and I was just kind of a match to see who was going to go first. So I'm glad we didn't. Hey, we're going to go back to Teeny Tiny Daisy in just a couple of minutes, so make sure you stick with us.
Merit Medical. Why work for fast food wages when you can start at Merit for a whole lot more? Merit Medical. Great products, great people, a great company. Learn more at merit.com/careers. The law offices of Robert J. DeBry and Associates, with offices in Salt Lake City, Sandy City, and St. George. Check them out at robertdebry.com. Precision Garage Door of Salt Lake City, providing repairs, new garage door installation, as well as openers. Precision Garage Door, locally owned, nationally backed. Give them a call at 888-712-3667.
All right, so Todd and Erin Morning Stream on GephardtDaily.com.
By the way, if you just missed that interview with Bill about the Huntsman Cancer Institute, childhood cancer, 80% cure, which is a word they've never used before. You can always catch it. We're on all day, basically, so you can catch us on the Todd and Erin YouTube channel, on SoundCloud.
For that, by the way.
You can always catch it on GephardtDaily.com, and of course, we're always streaming live on Facebook, and if you weren't here during the live, you can still catch it afterwards. But before we go to Daisy, I have to tell you, Jennifer Martin just arrived. I'm very excited. Our pet
psychic.
Now, this girl can read pretty much any pet, but I'm dying to see what happens with a Great Dane, 2 foster ferrets, and a cat with PTSD from Hurricane Katrina.
Yes, folks, we got it all.
Yeah, we're very excited. But first, let's go to Teeny Tiny Daisy. She's in the Gephardt Daily newsroom. It's brought to you by Hillside Tires with 5 locations along the Wasatch Front and Precision Garage Doors of Salt Lake City, providing repairs, garage door installation, as well as openers. Precision Garage Doors, locally owned and nationally backed. Hey, Teeny Tiny Daisy, what's going on?
Good morning, Todd and Erin. Here's what's making headlines on Gephardt Daily. The Salt Lake County Animal Services are asking for the public's help in finding the person who severely injured a 4-year-old tabby cat that was found wandering in the Mill Creek area. Animal Services say the cat, which they've named Robin Hood, had multiple pellet wounds in his back and neck. Anyone with information on who shot the tabby is asked to call Salt Lake County Animal Services. And 2 bank robbery suspects are behind bars after leading police on a wild, high-speed chase during Monday night's rush hour. Authorities say the men held up the U.S. Bank near 2200 South and 2100 East and then took off after being spotted by police. The chase hit speeds of 100 miles an hour before ending in West Valley City. Police managed to nab the men after they tried to ditch the car and made a run for it. And this morning's commute is not quite as dramatic, thank goodness. Traffic is moving smoothly on I-15, although tonight's drive could be a bit more dicey. That's when another storm passes through parts of northern Utah, with more snow expected Tuesday night. Wednesday, the skies will clear and we'll see temps in the mid-50s by the weekend. Todd and Erin, back to you.
So we have 10 things we're supposed to throw away. Am I correct?
Well, everybody likes to believe that, you know, you have this beautiful organized house, or at least that we could possibly achieve it. Well, I come from a family where our dad was like a class 5 hoarder. If you've ever watched like Hoarding, Buried Alive or whatever, my sisters and I used to watch that and go, those guys are amateurs. Are you kidding? But look, all of us have stuff you got to get rid of. And I don't care if you're trying to be, you know, all nice and I can make this work. No. Number 1, socks with holes in them. Okay, I don't care if you're the dark mistress of needle and thread. You're not going to darn these.
Does anyone darn anymore?
A pack of 6-pack of socks, $3.99 at Walmart. Splurge. Okay.
All
now,
right.
These sad little fibers that you're seeing coming up, this is just pitiful. This is actually the remains of a 400-year-old bra that they found in a Scottish castle. 400 years old. Well, I am betting that some of us have undies.
400-year-old bra.
Some of us
this came out of it?
Some of us have undies that are nearly that old, so admit it. You're not even going to wear those on laundry day. Let's just move them out into the trash. And, of course, number 3, expired batteries. You know, the ones that you have that gigantic pile in the junk drawer, because you're going to test them because you don't want to waste them because they might still be good, right?
Maybe they're good.
Yeah, they might be not expired. And then, of course, same thing with old light bulbs. The stray power cords you're sure might eventually work. No, they're not going to. Move on. Move on. Okay, open cans of paint. This was my dad's thing. I think we had like, 3 warehouses full of paint. He used to give us open cans of paint for Christmas. It was awesome.
And he lets them freeze first because it makes the quality of the paint so much better.
You know, the patina is very, very subtle. Once they're opened, and this is even if you carefully reseal them, they've got maybe 2 years shelf life, and that's if they don't get too hot or cold. Get rid of them, and if you want some moral superiority, I actually have some regulations on how to do it on GepharttDaily.com. Just go to the Todd and Erin page. Toothbrushes.
No.
Swap those suckers out every 6 months.
No.
No.
Who tells you that?
Your dentist.
Yeah, who's in cahoots with the brush makers.
There's a bacteria that forms on toothbrushes, no matter how many times you rinse them, that it can actually contribute to heart disease. Does this not seem somewhat counterproductive to you?
First,
Just a thought.
Okay.
Yes, everything's out to kill you.
Yeah.
Stacks of old magazines and newspapers. I have a 16-foot stack in our bedroom that I'm just waiting to cut out all of the articles, and I'm going to file them all pretty.
Hoarder.
You're not going to do that. You're not. And you know what? Here's the cool part. Everything's online. Go online. Broken toys and games with missing pieces.
See,
this is our Zoe's.
Look at those great toys.
This is our Zoe's
That's
challenge.
a classic.
Honey,
What?
even Andy from Toy Story
The white one.
wants you to throw them away.
All right.
Just move on.
Okay.
He's happy for you. Old expired makeup. I'm the worst at this. I used to save stuff for everything. You get nasty, nasty bacteria in used makeup. My girlfriend Crystal ripped off her sunglasses one day, double pink eye because she hadn't.
What?
Because of her mascara. There's only so long you can use that stuff. Only so long. Then there's the pillows. Sorry, I'm just dry heaving a little bit. Say hello to the neighbors in your pillow. This is the one you snuggle in at night. Health specialists tell us that a 2-year-old pillow's weight is mostly 10% dust mites and their droppings.
Okay.
10%.
All right. And, here's the happy news, though. They eat your dry skin.
Well, there's always that. Yeah, like
Nice.
taco chips.
Yeah.
Cleaning sponges, kitchen or bathroom, you have to replace those every month. And every couple of days, you need a cleaning to get rid of the bacteria buildup.
Right.
We will tell you how. Just go to the Todd and Erin page on GephartDaily.com.
All right. Can we talk about something more delicious?
More inspiring,
Yeah.
more wonderful. Yes, that would be Nothing Bundt Cakes. Now, if you haven't been to 10389 South State Street yet, and you haven't tried Nothing Bundt Cakes, April's store in Sandy, right across from Southtown Mall, is about to change your freaking life. We're talking about rich, dense, glorious bundt cake, moist and wonderful. It's like chocolate chip. There's white chocolate raspberry. There's pecan praline, cinnamon swirl, lemon. There's new flavors every month, and then the cream cheese frosting. The glorious cream cheese frosting. Oh, and April can deliver up and down the Wasatch Front. 10389 South State Street in Sandy. It's Nothing Bundt Cakes.
Jennifer's here.
How are you, my darling?
Hi, I'm well, thanks. Thanks for having me.
We're very excited to see you because
Squish you
we
over
got
a
a
little
lot
bit.
of
There we go.
we got a lot of animals, and the stud ferrets keep eating the electrical cords.
Okay. Well, did you? I'm just going to get one ferret. Okay.
No. Both ferrets have to be out. They're a pair, bonded
man.
pair.
They are.
How did you get into this? Because for most people, I'm sure they didn't even know it was a thing.
When I was about 14 years old, I got a hamster, and about 3 days in, I just felt like she was sad, and I didn't really know why.
Aw.
I remember calling the pet store and all kinds of things, and nobody else thought that like my hamster was sad, but I could just feel it. She wasn't acting differently or anything. And then about 3 more days later, she had about 12 babies and felt a lot better.
I can imagine.
So even though I didn't know why she was sad, I definitely knew there was something up. And that's probably the first time I knew that I could really feel or pick up on how animals were feeling or thinking or that kind of thing.
All right, so
guys. Well,
give us the lowdown
This
here.
is Thor and this
These
is
guys
Loki.
are so fun. Yes, they definitely need to stay together. They're sort of two parts of a whole. Yes, they are. And unlike their names, Thor is actually more of the mastermind.
Really?
And Loki's more of like the, I'll just go along with it and it'll be good to go.
You
But
two are
they're-
not like the
they're
Marvel
both,
comics.
As long as they have like some room to roam, they'll be pretty happy. They're not real complex. They're not going to be real like difficult to deal with. They're pretty
So they're happy.
easygoing.
They're happy?
Kids. Yeah.
Nothing
All right.
deep
And
inside.
they should definitely stay together.
All right.
Okay, I think we should talk about
put them
Satchmo
away.
next, just because Satchmo has a very interesting history. This is Patrick, our
You need
news
two
director,
hands.
Kitty. And will Satchmo come over here?
Satchmo will come over.
Hi, baby.
Hi.
You want to come sit with us?
He is
Come here, baby.
close.
Now,
Yes, he does. There's
now,
lots of fun things going
Satchmo
on
has
here.
a little bit of PTSD. He
Yes.
survived Hurricane Katrina, for which I'm assuming is a pretty intense thing. What's your
Definitely.
thought?
He's definitely a survivor, that's for sure. And he definitely knows who he is.
Right.
He's not an unhappy cat at all. He's definitely been, he's much happier. But he always needs a bit of an escape route. He's always kind of trying to look for like, okay, if something happens, where can I get out? So he's very smart, and definitely that's still part of what happened.
How many
before.
lives did he use up, Katrina? Like 7?
I think only a couple, because
Oh.
he's a really tough guy.
No, it was interesting because Patrick was telling me a little bit about how they found him. Do you get any images that flash in your mind? Do you get visuals from the animals?
Yeah, sometimes.
What do you see?
It's funny because Patrick was telling me that they found him swimming, but the funny thing is that he doesn't necessarily like think about that very often, if that makes sense. Now he really just thinks like, where is the sun so I can like rest and chill, and because he's just really happy now.
He's
But
pragmatic.
He absolutely gets, especially for some reason, thunder is a little bit nerve-wracking for him.
Ah,
but
yeah, that would
for
make
the most
sense.
part,
High
he's
winds.
a very happy guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so we
That's
have a
amazing.
monster now. Bo.
Come here, Bo.
Come here. I'm
Come
going to
here,
get
baby.
out of the way. Why don't you slide over this way? Come here, Bo.
I'd like to believe
Come
I
on,
could
Bo.
drag Bo over to you,
Come
but
on,
that's
Bo.
really whatever Bo thinks he wants to do.
Bo.
Come here, sweetheart.
Bo and I have been hanging out. He's
All right.
great. He's a very happy
come
guy,
here. Come
and
here.
he's very smart.
Yes.
He's also just super
Yes.
easygoing. He has no idea how big he is. He'd much rather just be like a lap dog, if that makes sense. But most of the day, he just hangs out and thinks like, okay, where's my next nap coming from? That kind of thing. Because he's just a happy, secure guy.
Here, scoot up just a little
Yeah.
bit, Jen. You know, I've always been curious about Great Danes because most dogs seem like the job dogs. But Great Danes that were more like, you know, I'm really more like a lawn ornament. I'm like one of those little
Well, you don't have to
carriage
really worry
boys
about
that,
it,
yeah.
right? If you look
Do you
scary.
notice that our show has started to shed?
I think that's a given.
Yeah.
We're
Definitely going to need a lint brush.
We have
we're
one
good.
more dog.
Now this one I'm very intrigued about. This is Riley.
Hi, Riley.
This is Bill's dog.
Yes, Riley is very smart and very fun. And he's all about the people. If he makes your day happier, then he has done his job in his mind.
How is Bill as an owner, as a
We want
steward?
insights. We're looking.
Really good because it gives him a lot of love, which is, you know, most important for Riley. But second of all, he takes him along a lot. So he gets to go on lots of little adventures. And Riley's very explorative and really curious about things. So he's happy to go along. Plus, he just thinks he's a furry human. So, of course, he's supposed to go along with the other humans.
Now, are there any of these pets that had like a need that was unfulfilled or something that their owners could do for them? Because I really do believe that 90% of the time, an animal's love is unconditional. It's just, I'm here to make you happy. But is there
I
anything
agree.
any of them needed?
No, I don't. Not that I could pick up on, or not that they're complaining about, I guess, is probably the best way to say it.
I can't
I'm
believe
watching
Satchmo.
like
That's
Riley
the most zen
and
cat
Satchmo
ever.
looking at each other, and it's so funny.
Our show's a zoo.
Riley's like, I just really want to
really
play,
is.
and are you going to play with me, or are we going to just hang out, or should I
Right.
just watch you because you're fascinating? But no, other than that,
You
they're
know,
really good
you
to
know
go.
what? There is a new animal. Go ahead.
Now, yeah, up at Utah's Hogle Zoo. And do you mind hanging around? I don't know if you can
Yeah.
read Diego from the screen.
Awesome.
But this sucker is apparently just a little genius.
Oh,
And
cool.
so they actually went up and took a look at this little sucker in action. So meet Diego from
Yeah, I'd love
Utah's
to.
Hogle Zoo.
Today was our debut of Diego, our new sea lion on exhibit. We just got from the Indianapolis Zoo. Diego's coming here to be a companion for Maverick. Sea lions are really, really social animals, so you always want to have them in groups because in the wild you usually find them in social groups. So Diego is here to be a mature male companion for Maverick, who's still a teenager in sea lion years. Every animal's going to react a little bit differently, but it's definitely, they get nervous, it's kind of stressful. And he, from day one, he was ready to eat, he was training, he transitioned really, really quickly. He's super food motivated. He's really, really good at working with people. He really likes interacting with people. He is a really fun animal. He's super sweet. He's really mellow, but he's so willing to do just pretty much anything just to work with you. And he's just such a nice guy that he's just really fun to get to hang out with. Our first step, though, is we have 6 trainers on our staff. So we have 6 people that need to get really good at Diego. Once all of those people, once we're all on the same page and Diego is really comfortable with us, then we will definitely be working on training him new things. And hopefully as Maverick and Diego's relationship is getting better, we'll see a lot more of Maverick plus Diego working side by side. And that's always really, really cool to see because you can really see the size differences and just seeing them working really cooperatively together.
So I want details. What do you think about Diego?
Wow, he looks awesome. I totally want to go to the zoo and see him now.
Guess where he came from?
The ocean?
Yeah.
Thank you for humoring him. I appreciate that so much.
Little scientific thing, I know.
What is in the mind of a wild creature like that? Because we've been talking mainly about domesticated pets. What does he see when he sees all of these people staring at him? Does he feel like he has a job, or it's like they're intrusive? Does he care?
Oh, I think it depends. Most of the time, I think, depending on how, like, what the animal's upbringing has been, they just look at, like, potential friends or potential audience in his case, because he's a smart guy. And he just feels like as long as animals in captivity, wild animals in captivity, as long as they're given enrichment, they tend to be pretty happy, meaning, like, they get stuff to stimulate their minds and keep them
treats,
engaged.
the games, all
yeah,
of the
so as long as
training.
they keep teaching him tricks and stuff like that, I think he'll be really happy
Thank you
here.
so much.
I
You're
love
welcome.
that. Okay, now Jennifer's going to be at the Psychic Fair. This is the Todd and Erin Psychic Fair, Saturday, March 11th, down at the Leonardo. Tickets are $5. And I guess they can bring pets. I haven't heard the Leonardo say no.
Yeah, absolutely.
If they'd like to. It's better to ask
love
forgiveness
that.
than
Yeah.
you know.
Right.
But and you also read humans as well.
I do, yes. And if you can't bring your pet, then I can read from a picture, and it
picture.
would just be
Let's
on
do
your
a
phone. That'd be
picture.
fine
Let's
too.
do a picture.
That's probably
You
for
see
the
what
best.
happens.
So we'll have a whole
Otherwise,
bunch
we'll
of
need any more lint brushes.
Right.
a whole bunch of psychics there. We're also going to have some amazing people doing body work. There's things to shop for, and then you're going to do a couple of breakout sessions for us.
I am, yeah. A little bit about how to hone your own intuition and setting some intentions for the new year.
I love that.
It's almost time for Erin's surprise. She doesn't know what's about to happen, and it's
no.
going to happen right after this.
Merit Medical. Why work for fast food wages when you can start at Merit for a whole lot more? Merit Medical. Great products, great people, a great company. Learn more at merit.com/careers. The law offices of Robert J. DeBry and Associates, with offices in Salt Lake City, Santee City, and St. George. Check them out at robertdebry.com. Precision Garage Door of Salt Lake City, providing repairs, new garage door installation, as well as openers. Precision Garage Door, locally owned, nationally backed. Give them a call at 888-712-3667.
All right, this is one of my favorite parts of the show.
I'm sorry. It's just
Because-
that Bo, the Great Dane, his tail's wagging, and he just hit Steve in the thigh, and he actually stumbled.
So,
Sorry, Steve.
here's the deal. A lot of times, Erin, we talk about what we're going to talk about, and that's great, but sometimes we get to surprise each other.
I have a surprise?
Yes. Now, let me explain something about Erin. Picture a Disney film, and then picture someone getting hit in the groin. That's what happens. She thinks...
I don't know why we're married, because
So sick.
it's like you want to watch British movies where there's like plot and character development,
Right.
and I just want to see stuff getting blown up.
Okay.
I'm so sorry.
Well, I have prepared, along with a great crew, a little surprise for you.
Really?
Yeah. And I want you to go here, and I want you to look at that monitor right there, okay?
Okay.
And
What are you doing? What is wrong with you? It's like Gangnam Style. It's perfect.
yeah. This is what happens.
What is wrong with you?
I can hear the control booths laughing too. Now that's.
What's with the board?
I think I've made my case here.
I'm cramping. Oh, I'm
Yeah,
cramping.
yeah. And she says, why is it? Why don't you laugh? And I go, 'cause I have some. That's why. I know the difference. All right. Well. Yikes. All right. So anyway,
Okay.
thanks for joining us today. 7 o'clock tomorrow morning.
And you can always find us all day long on Gephardt, and they're still doing it. It's like a competition. You can always find us all the time on GephartDaily.com. Just go to the Todd and Erin page.
Here, roll some more if you have it.
Todd and,
yeah.
The
Yeah.
Todd and Erin YouTube page, also on SoundCloud. It's Gangnam Style, not Punch.
Look yeah. And I married her. We'll see you at 7 o'clock tomorrow morning right here on GephartDaily.com.